So with our handsome little guy, we were doing a little bit of play, and then I know that my little one had to use the restroom real quick. So I wanted to also show you guys another exercise where to prevent, as we were mentioning a little bit with like that take it and drop it of items. So a lot of times when puppies have things they're allowed to have, we tend to even try to take those things from them, and it starts to become a little bit negative. So what I would recommend is with several different toys out, have them be going and checking out one toy, and then you might exchange for the next toy. So if he doesn't go for this as much as some of the other babes, don't worry. The main goal to this exercise is you have several shoes, toys, and different items he enjoys, and you practice having him exchange one item. Like let's say he goes and starts chewing on the hoof. We would then practice doing a find it, get him to disengage from the hoof, and then go back to another item. So that way, as your puppy is practicing, they're, for example, not getting flustered because the items aren't being instantly taken away. We tend to be with puppies, don't eat the acorn, don't eat the trees, or so the sticks, don't eat the mulch, bunny poop, all that fun. So the problem with constantly being like the swiper and taking items away from your puppy is that your puppy starts to get into thinking that, gee, every time mom and dad come near me, they're always taking this really cool prize away. So we might, by accident, nice job, create a puppy that is worried about us coming near when they have an item. And then we might even create the gulping or even the resource guarding issue that we're having a hard time with. So I'm just gonna make this seem a little cooler by plopping a few snacks inside of it, offer it to the handsome guy. One of my favorite ways to practice is, again, exchanging from one item to another. This doesn't mean I take something and then go walk up to the puppy and try to show him this to get the other thing away from him. The exchange would be, for example, he's working on one thing, and then we might gain his attention and help him sometimes with a find it or with another toy that comes to life. So let's say, for example, he was playing with one of the rope toys. We can then go grab one of the other toys in the pile of fun that he's playing with, and then get him to go from that item to go play with the other thing you have to offer. A lot of times view it too. Imagine if you were having the best meal of your life or enjoying an awesome novel, or maybe you're mid-game of something on the TV and someone comes over, just grabs the remote, turns it off, turns it on, turns it off, turns it on, and is also giving it back but then taking it away. You're probably going to get really annoyed with that setup. Imagine you were eating, same thing. Someone comes over, they take your plate and they give it back. They take your plate and give it back. You might, depending on how hangry you are, poke them with your spoon, fork, or knife. So in that situation, not a comfortable experience for us either. But now imagine you are mid-meal and the person comes up to you and they give you $1,000 for interrupting you and taking your plate and giving it back. You're going to start to, as every time they come near, start to drop or stop what you're doing to get that lovely paycheck. So same thing for Mr. Handsome. Ready? Yes. So right there's just a positive interrupter. I'm making that little kiss noise and he comes to do a little check-in. Good job, sir. So we'll do a little find it just to keep him entertained while I'm blabbing. He's like, lady, this is the greatest day ever. So find it's, again, just a great way to get them to disengage with you, go find something. And then you could do a little check back in with you. Oh my goodness, chewing and walking is so hard for all the babies sometimes. So we're feeding for this lovely engagement back to me. If he offers anything good, like a little sit, I'm gonna feed him for that too. He's a little chattering because he's actually really excited about some of the snacks I have. One of them is a salmon and sweet potato snack, and he thinks it smells and tastes deliciously good, I guess. So for the handsome guy, back to that analogy with someone eating a meal and then getting interrupted, is remember that while they're being interrupted, they're being given something of greater value while that interruption happened. So if they give you $1,000 every time they came nearby, you're going to start to put those utensils down and wait for that lovely, again, paycheck to be delivered. So the other option is where you would do the similar thing. So let's say he's enjoying a hoof, he's working on his food. We have old school information out there where people will say, oh, just go and bother the puppy while they're eating. Make sure you can pat them and take things away. That actually does a great job increasing the rate of resource guarding to happen. So let's say he's enjoying this item. I might sort of wander away. And let's say he's chewing on something, he's eating his food dish, whatever. I'm going to go over to Mr. Handsome and toss some snacks at him and then disengage. So the benefit of this game is it gets him to realize that every time I come near, I don't instantly take the item, but I also made the item even cooler than it once was before my presence was there. So this also gets him to start practicing disengaging from the thing, and they might even come over to you and you could feed them for this check-in. So now anytime he goes and offers some beautiful eyes on me or he's soft and next to my side, I'm going to feed him for that. But again, the benefit of going and he's enjoying something and you go and drop a few snacks over him is that I also like to think about it almost you were enjoying a lovely ice cream cone or cup of ice cream, and somebody comes over and says, hey, would you like some extra toppers put into your ice cream cone or on your ice cream itself? And now you're going to be very excited every time they come walking by to refill your toppers from your ice cream that you may have already eaten. So same thing with your puppy is we're getting him to think that me coming nearby, ready, yes, is creating this concept where me coming into your bubble while you have a high value chew equals good things are about to happen versus I'm just stealing it away from you or swiping it. This is also really beneficial if your puppy has a really good association with letting go of something. And if he goes to jump, just ignore. See if you can get the better behavior, which could be a sit, or it could be a little find it to help him move away, do something instead. And then as he comes to you, you could get another little sit, feed for that. And again, send him away for another little crumb. So this way you're getting him up and wiggling, which can be very helpful for puppies because they get a little bit stuck in the sitting still is hard for them. So I like movement behavior too for littles and for adults. So, but let's say again, back to your babe, if there's moments where we are becoming beneficial to come nearby, we can start to create value in us passing by that item and not have it be confrontational. But as I was mentioning as well, is if every time we say drop it, it means we're taking the item away, he's going to start to think that me saying drop it means better run, the crazy lady's coming to take my prized possession again. So, and it can also increase the gulping potential and that resource guarding. So now let's say my puppy is enjoying his chew. He's kind of hanging out. Not that I want to always be interrupting my handsome guy, but this is where the approach and disengage is really beneficial. So he could be chewing on something. He could be enjoying his food dish. I would then go nonchalantly past, drop a few snacks, or toss them at him and walk away. So now me going near him again is building up that it's not a negative and I don't instantly take something from you. So, but as he's working on, let's say, this lovely chew item, I'm going to even replace some of the snacks inside. So let's say he goes back to working this chew. The other option is to have him practice bouncing back and forth between the item and you. So you could go again and say, let's say his name. So Harley, yes. Feed for that lovely response, and they can go right back to his chew when he's ready. But getting him to practice checking in or even doing a find it from the item to be very helpful. So let's pretend Mr. H was chewing over here and we went go Harley, and I know he's not, but then he could practice moving back and forth between the item and the find its. Nice job, Mr. Handsome. So again, we could do another little find it. And again, Harley, yes. So even throughout some of this practice, he's working some name recognition with that name cookie. He's also working those find its, which again gets him often distracted. And you could do Harley, come, and work a little bit with those lovely recalls. Nice job, sir. Very pretty. So as I was mentioning earlier too, you're going to create behavior through shaping, through luring like we were doing earlier, and also capturing. So capturing is where your puppy offers a behavior or skill that you like, and you capture the moment like a photograph and you feed for that moment. So remember, marking behavior is going to be really helpful because it's going to let your puppy know exactly when they were right in doing that behavior or skill set. So nice job, sir. So here we go, feed him again for just doing some great skills. So we'll give him a little breather from this. We'll let him work a little bit with his chew, but then we're going to practice a few other little skills with him in just a moment. But that was very, very nice.